Hi, I'm Mark, and this is my journey through tarot. Come on. Okay, today's video by request is going to be all about, let's see, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, Prince Louis, Prince Archie, I believe he's still entitled to be Prince, and Princess Lilibet. So we'll talk about their interests, their personalities, their future endeavors, and if they're anything like their parents or the Queen or Diana. That's exactly what Toby Lynn Robbins asked in her nice comment back, and that's what I'm looking for. What do you want to know about? And I'll read about that. So that's what the video will be about today. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, please do like the video. And if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And thank you very much for watching. So we're going to go over all of that. We're going to get the roundup on the royal kids. So all the prince and princesses. It's interesting how they shuffle around as somebody dies, obviously. And how Charlotte now is third in line to the throne. So there's Charles who's on the throne. There's William, his son, who would be king. If something happens to William, then his son George. And if something happened to William and George, then there's Charlotte. And if something happened to all of those and Charlotte, then we have finally Louis, which of course the difference is, it used to be that the male children bumped the females down the line, as what's happened to Princess Royal Anne. So let's see what's going to happen with those kids. And I guess we'll just have to do a long video today. We'll take a lot of time to talk. And I took some time off because of the devastation with the election, and just didn't know what I would do. And I just feel as if there's some thing there, but that we may never know about. And then with all these ridiculous appointments, I can't believe it. So this is a nice tarot by request, Mark's journey. I hope that we start getting lots of requests, and I'll read on just about anything you ask me if it's not too controversial. So let's start then with Prince George. Okay, let's do 6 cards for, but you know what? I almost forgot. Let's take just a moment for meditation. There you go. Yeah, Prince George. I always get a funny feeling when I read on Prince George, as if there's going to be some hiccup somehow with his monarchy, with him assuming the throne. Not to say that he won't, but there may be something different about that. So Prince George, let's do 6 cards to see interests, his personalities, future endeavors, and who does he take over. Interest, personality, future endeavors, and who does he take over after. George. So, Prince George. Let's see what the signifier card tells us right off the bat for George. So his interests, okay, he is diligent. This is the 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles are value. Not money in his case. He's got all the money. He'll never have to think about that, even if he never ascended to the throne. But value. So apparently he is meticulous about nailing down his value. Even at this young age, they start to develop traits, and he's not really that young after all. The challenge to this in George's life. So that's his personality trait. And what else did we ask about? Oh, okay, then we had future endeavors and interest. And then, okay. I think he's going to have a lot on his plate, okay? The challenge to him wanting to do everything right is he's going to have always a lot on his plate once he becomes an active royal. You know what I mean? Once he starts to have to be the prince. The basis of all that for him, so this would be his likes, is partnerships. Okay, that's excellent. That's something for him. Okay, so the basis of everything for him is making partnerships. He may be something that he's observed in those above him now that he's starting to understand perhaps who he is. In the past for him, well, the King of Crowns, it came out upside down. I don't like inverted cards and I try to avoid them whenever possible. But when they come in upside down, I'll tell you about them. If this had been right side up, the King of Wands, actions, plans, forward movement, that's in the past. But this is reversed, okay? So this tells me, I won't say that it means the reverse of what it did before, but that the action plans and the forward movement is stalled, and the moment for that, as a matter of fact, has passed. In the sky of this reading, then, is the Ten of Pentacles, happy family. So that's always going to be the goal with this family. It's going to be instilled in them because that's what their parents and their father, and who will have been their king, William, has gone through, and so it's been an underlying theme in their lives, talking about George and his siblings. And then the likely outcome for George is Wheel of Fortune, which is good fortune. Okay, so things are going to work out well for him, but I want to know in 4 cards which of his parents is he most like. One card, is it William? Well, this is a big yes card. What about Catherine? Okay, she brings a preparation to the game. So the 4 of Wands, being actions, plans, forward movement, is something being celebrated on towards something bigger. So his mother is the one getting him ready for what's going to happen in that big castle down the road. So his father is knowledge and hope, and the mother is preparing him for what's ahead. And so who is he most like then? Okay, taking a beat. He's most like his father, who learned how to be very cautious in the tumultuous family he grew up in. And anything having to do with Diana, Knight of Wands. If there was any trait for Diana in this, it would be that he will have a tendency to want to take charge and get things done. So that's what we have for George. That's interesting. That will, by the time all those things are pertinent, that'll certainly, it may or may not be a challenge for him, because the kings and the queens take over when the previous king or queen is not in a position to do so and may not have such strong opinions. Although it seemed to me that the queen, Elizabeth II, certainly did steer the course of the future of her family after she's gone. I see some inverted cards in here, and they make me uncomfortable, and I'm going to go through one at a time and make sure all the cards are right side up and not inverted. I don't want to have to jump to some sort of an interpretation at the last minute, especially since I haven't been reading cards for a while now. And so I want to be able to rely on what I know the interpretations to be, and not have to not be surprised. So I think it's best if I just make sure, it just takes a minute, and you get to see the cards too. So, and then we're going to talk about, see, here's another, and another. So Charlotte is next, and so that's interesting because now she is actually, after her brother George, right in line to go to the throne if need be, and that certainly has happened quite a few times, but never that we've had queens obviously, but never without some sort of a stretch, some sort of a controversy causing that to happen. And the queens have been some of the more successful queens. So we'll see. Now Charlotte. What can the cards tell us about Princess Charlotte? So it would be a long trip for her. It'd be a long journey for her to come to being on the throne. Sans some insane disaster that wipes out everybody ahead of her. So, Princess Charlotte. Interests, personalities, future endeavors. Interests, personalities, future endeavors. Princess Charlotte, interests, personality, and future endeavors. 6 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Interests, personality, future endeavors. The signifier card for her then, Princess Charlotte, is going to be future plans. Okay, and this is long-term planning. No, I'm sorry, this is a short-term plan. It's a 2 of Wands. So she's got the world in her hand, or at the very least the empire, really. And so she may mirror the dedication that we saw in Princess Royal Anne, because once Princess Royal Anne passes on, that Princess Royal title will be available and presumably will be bestowed upon Charlotte. But yeah, the center of her existence is short-term plans, just in case she has to step in, and I'm sure this has been guided a lot by her parents. The challenge to that is pointless confusion or a miscalculation, I would say. And then the basis of all of this for her is that she will be, and has been, even at this young age, the knight, the carrier of emotions, of some sort of support for her siblings. In the past with this, time for celebrations. These are emotional celebrations of the women. That's you have 3 women having an emotional celebration, and this is what made it possible that Charlotte could be right after her older brother and not pushed down the line. But that's in the past. That's happened. And in the sky, so that establishes her value. And in the sky of this, with this 5 of Swords, the sky of this is an abuse of power. Best you can hope for. I wonder if she's not going to be a little bit of a pushy princess. The likely outcome, lots of things coming to get in the way. These are actions, plans, and forward movement. And so future endeavors is that she's going to be a news maker, I believe. And what about traits of her parents or her grandparents or Diana? Traits or parents or grandparents of Diana. Let's see what we got here. Okay, so the first card of traits. What about her? Okay, so judgment. This is having to do with her parents. Okay, this is being made to toe the line. So she's gotten some rules from her parents about what her place is, especially since number 2 in William's place is his brother Harry, and we see how displeased he is with the way that's going. Okay, so yeah, the first thing from her parents is to understand about judgment, and then the environment that's in for her. This might be talking more about her mother, obviously, is High Priestess. So she's got any traits for her parents. It would be what they've imposed on her, and then her mother is her mother is already the queen to her in a lot of ways. So her mother's word is already holds the most meaning for her, and of course that will only become more and more true as William becomes king and her mother becomes queen, because she will be the first really queen consort, legitimate, planned, well thought of queen consort in a while. The hopes and fears for this, so again, which of her parents or her grandparents or her like, is this, this is nightmares and worrying. I think this is going to go all the way back to the Queen Mother, who was the queen when Edward I forget what number he was, but when Edward abdicated for Wallace Simpson, and his brother became king, and his wife was then queen, and so this harkens back to her. So she will be prepared for, and the likely outcome, she will be a troubleshooter. And then the final card for how it all ends and whom she's most like is, building something for public display. That would absolutely be the Queen Mother, who was a Queen Elizabeth, but not a numbered queen. In other words, she wasn't a 1 or a 2 because she wasn't a monarch type of queen. So building something for public display, and that's what her life will be about. And I don't know that it would be particularly satisfying for her, that role. But now we can talk about Louis. So Prince Louis. Again, we're going to do 6 cards for this one. And Louis is going to be the forgotten son to a certain extent. I mean, he's going to be certainly, if number 2 is spare, then he's spare change. Okay, and so if things go right, and if he doesn't seek the spotlight, then I think he could have a great life as the third, as the prince. But the third child often is the one who's trying to get attention, and so that could make him a little bit of a show off, like Prince Andrew. So Prince Louis, what can 6 cards tell us about his personality, interests, and future endeavors? Prince Louis. 6 cards for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Prince Louis. Personality, future endeavors, and interests. Signifier, Hierophant. I wonder if he's going to be involved with government in some way, some sort of an influencer of government. And the challenge to that is this theft and betrayal. So I think he's going to be almost cardinal-like in his wanting things to be fair and equal, and without having this mistrust and in government, which is a big order because it goes with politics. The basis of all of this, King of Swords. Oh yeah, he will see himself as sort of a rules kind of guy, and in the past of this is something having to do with his sisters being elevated to number 2 in the past was celebratory for him because it frees him up to have more of a life. And in the sky with this 4 of Wands, so this is planning, as we just talked about, actions, plans, forward movement. The best he can ever hope for is that smallest celebration, because he will never be prepared for the larger one. So this reading is actually telling us even more than we thought. It's letting us know that Louis won't ascend to the throne. And then the final outcome for this, oh, look at this, is the death. He could be the first of those royal children to actually go. But it says that his cycle then is going to be a very definite one, at the very least. And then who is he most like? His mom, his dad, Princess Diana, Harry. Who is he most like? Maybe some of the non-royals. Maybe someone he takes more from than we might have thought. So 4 cards. We'll start out with personality. Who's he most like? Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so he's going to be the lucky one. Who is he most like? Who was the most lucky? Prince Philip. The challenge to that is going to be that he is such a privileged person. That will be the challenge to his Wheel of Fortune, his privilege. The hopes and the fears. Okay, staying out of the pocket of the devil, like is what happened to Andrew. It's what happens to a lot of number 2s, and he's number 3. So that's his challenge, and so he's going to be carefree to a bit. And then the likely outcome for that, the Knight of Cups, he's going to be an emotional bearer of resistance for those things of the heart. And so his journey is going to be an interesting one. But now we can go right to the far choices that might eventually make it to the throne, and that's the children of Harry, Duke of Sussex, and that would be Archie and Lilibet. So let me get a drink of water because I'm starting to feel a little bit of a tickle in my throat. So we're going to do these 2 together. So this is Prince Archie and Lilibet, but we want to know the same things. I think I'm just going to do, I'm going to do 4 and 4, and then maybe do some more cards after that. Princess Archie. Let's see if you want to know interests, personalities, future endeavors. Prince Archie. Interest, personality, future endeavors. 4 cards. Prince Archie. Okay. First card up is making money. Second card up, Judgment. Third card up, Magician. And fourth card up, Secrets being revealed. Oh yeah. So he's so far down the ladder that the legacy of needing to support the family will continue on with him. Even though he may eventually inherit a legacy from his parents, he will still need to perpetrate, keep that going. Because remember, his kids really fall off the meter. Judgment, he will still be dealing with the judgment, and so that will shape his personality. He will still be dealing with the judgment that his parents, so the sins of the father are visited on the son, and that will shape his wanting to please kind of personality. Magician card, I think what's going to happen here is he's going to be very creative in how he might achieve this, and the secrets being revealed might be, as a matter of fact, one of the ways that happens. His personality's future endeavors. And two cards, who does he take after? First card, building things for public display. That's his mother, his grandmother Diana. And the last card is the Queen of Pentacles, money, his own mother. Even though she'll never be a queen, his own mother, because she is the wheel behind the success of what's happening in that arm of the royal family. So his funny enough, two very, maybe not very different, but you would think of them as very different as Diana and Meghan. So he will be influenced by those two things. And remember, he will have been preached about Diana his whole life, and he will have been watching his mother Meghan pulling the strings behind the scenes. So that's interesting. And as the oldest one, so but what about Lilibet? Because he will come to understand all this certainly before her, and she will continue to be babied and treated as her father's little girl. Although, you know, I'm sure she'll still get a strong dose of be your own woman in there. So Lilibet, personalities, interests, and what's the thing? Future endeavors. Oh, family, emotional, Lilibet. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. That's very good. Good fortune. Third card, public display. Okay. Oh, okay. There will be some emotional heartaches. So, yeah, a little bit is going to be all about family. She will have a blessed future. She will continue to be in public display. And it's not to say there won't be some very emotional things that she has to walk away from in her life. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things in the back here. So I don't know, but who does she take after? Two cards. Okay, this is harkening back to the past a little bit. I wonder if she will be like her grandmother, the Queen Elizabeth II. And I'm going to say that's my best bet. She will be something like her grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II. So that's my reading for today. I hope you liked it, and see you next time. Hey, I'm going to show you the cards now. Hang on a minute. Okay, so this is the newest deck I've got. This is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. It's just another take on from Los Scarabeo on the classic Rider-Waite Tarot. But apparently this person Wise has had their input into it. And what I love about it, first of all, it's got a great container. I always feel like what I think of when I open these containers is if I got this as a gift, what would I think about it? And I think, well, this is very nice. When you get into the box, I mean, it gives you a hint right from the beginning what you're going to see. It's a close-up of the cards in kind of rich color with kind of a tinged overtone to kind of give it an antique look, in my opinion. Anyway, the cards themselves, I'll go over, but I want to tell you first about the instruction booklet. And you know, it's a typical instruction booklet that you get with any of these decks. It's in a few different languages, and it just gives you some basic meanings of how to divide the cards. But what's good about it is that it gives you a really terrific synopsis of how this Rider-Waite system was developed and when and by who. It talks a little enough about Arthur Waite and Pamela Coleman Smith, who were the creators of this and the Kabbalistic theory and history of all of that. It gives you a real quick mention about the Golden Dawn, which is very significant to the development of these cards. And then it gives you a really great little section about how to read the tarot and storytelling through the cards. So I like the little book. I mean, it's nothing earth-shattering. It's not information that most people don't know, but it is interesting. Now, the cards themselves, they got a cool back. They're kind of shiny, and you're going to see that kind of what they are is like they've kind of made a close-up of the typical tarot images and then colored them in very vibrantly and then oversprayed the whole thing with sort of an antique-y kind of a feel. So they're great for me. I've got a few vision problems, and so in that they're close up, but they're still vibrant with color. And I think these are going to look great on the camera. I like to spread the cards out like this for a couple of reasons. One is it's a good way to show you more than a couple of cards that you get to see in the typical tarot drawing. And that's something that I always wanted to see. I wanted to know more about what the cards I was looking at before I was making the videos. And number two, it's a good way to shuffle the cards up without damaging them too much. And if you're reading for someone else, then there's a third benefit, is that you can let someone else do this kind of spread around if they're not comfortable with making a shuffle, and then you kind of get their energy into the cards. So this is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot, and I just like them a lot. So this will be my newest deck.